The story of Krazy Joe was torn from yesterday's headlines, and it's as terrifying as tomorrow's.
Good morning. Welcome back to Krazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Krazy Joe. We have another physical media review for you today. Today is a big one. And when I say a big one, I mean in more ways than one. I mean, it's a major release, but it's also a big set. And it's one of the most influential, important television shows of all time. We're talking I Love Lucy. The original I Love Lucy is now available, complete series on Blu-ray. Look at this massive set here. 194 episodes are contained within this box. Now, look, I'm 48 years old. Obviously, this show predates me by quite a number of years, but growing up in the 80s, this was a staple that was rerun on television constantly. So I did grow up with I Love Lucy. I must confess that while I love a lot of old TV shows like, Leave It to Beaver, The Munsters, old black and white TV shows, that's kind of my jam, as the kids say. That's what they say. It's my jam. Do they say that anymore? I don't even know. I don't even know if the kids still say that. But this one isn't one I revisit very often. It just, I don't know. Of all the old sitcoms, I respect and admire this show's place in history, but this isn't one I revisit that often. So I am kind of looking forward to going through and popping in some episodes. I've watched 2 episodes so far. The original pilot, which did not air on television until 1990, the original Lost pilot, I watched that, and I watched the pilot episode that did air on television. Look, I couldn't watch 194 episodes in time for this review. I will watch more, though. So, first of all, let's talk about the set itself. Massive. Okay. Similar to some other box sets we've seen recently, Evil, Super Friends, we have it in this kind of a package, but this is a little different because we got more discs here than we dealt with there. These do not come out. You remember with Super Friends, they popped out. These do not pop out. They are set in there, and they are thick. Look how thick these are, man. Each one is stacked. So you've got season 1, season 2, season 3, and they're kind of stacked by season. So you have like a pile of discs here. They're not the most accessible discs. It's kind of hard. If there's a specific episode you're looking for, you kind of got to dig for it. This is not ideal packaging in finding a specific episode. But considering there are 194 episodes, that's a lot of episodes. I don't know how you do it any better, really. It's not like I have a solution to bring to the table that is going to make it easier. I will say this. The discs are clearly marked. Look at this. It says right on the disc, Season 5, Disc 4, and then you have the episode titles written right there on the disc, which is very, very nice. So this is like Lucy in the Swiss Alps. Lucy gets homesick in Italy. Lucy's Italian movie, Lucy's bicycle trip, Lucy goes to Monte Carlo. So I can tell which episodes are on each disc. That is really nice, really wonderful. All right. As for the quality of these episodes, this is really interesting. And I learned some things. I learned some things I don't know. If you know I Love Lucy, you know when the show starts, you get that like satiny background with a heart on it, and it goes da 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 da. It says I Love Lucy on that heart that is on the like satiny background. Apparently, that is not the original intro for a lot of these episodes. That was the syndicated intro. And in syndication, they went back, edited the episodes, put that intro on all the shows. Now, that's what I grew up with. That was not the original intro. So what's interesting here is these episodes kind of come from multiple sources. The show was shot on 35 millimeter. So they went back, and the 35 millimeter masters had been altered for the syndicated cuts. And that is now all that's available on 35 millimeter. So when they went back to the source material, all they had was the syndicated cuts. But the original network airings that aired on CBS back in the 50s they opened with a Philip Morris ad, at least season 1. I haven't got much further than season 1, but they opened with a Philip Morris ad, so Philip Morris cigarettes. And they would say, like, Philip Morris presents Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball in I Love Lucy. And they had an animated versions of Lucy and Ricky that would be standing on top of a cigarette carton, and they would come down, and those have been cut. So in order to remaster those, they had to go back to 16 millimeter films that were sent to individual stations that did not want to air the show at its original airtime. So some of these come from the 35, some of these, it gives you an option. When you pop the disc in, it'll say, do you want to watch the original broadcast version? Do you want to watch the syndicated cut? You have a choice for each episode, and it'll play the intro and based on your choice. So to get those original intros, they had to remaster a lot of these episodes from the 16 millimeter, not the 35 millimeter print that was sent to local theaters that weren't airing the live feed of the show. And one of the special features that I watched on here, this is loaded with special features, but one of the special features was showing the restoration process. And 16 millimeter is not, as ideal as 35 millimeter for when you're remastering a show. And they were showing how grainy these 16 millimeter prints looked originally and how they cleaned them up. And I got to say, it looks great. It really does look great. Excuse me, I have just a little bit of a cold this morning. So some of the special features on here, we get the original pilot, not only the original pilot, but the original broadcast special hosted by Lucy Arnaz, the daughter, Lucy Arnaz Jr. There was a 1990 TV special presenting the original pilot that aired on CBS when it was originally discovered. You get that TV pilot, plus you get the remastered edition of the pilot in with all the other episodes. So you get 2 versions of the pilot. You get the original. You get to select between the original and the syndicated credits. Production notes, photo galleries. Select My Favorite Husband radio episodes. This is the radio show that it spawned from. Flubs, audio commentaries on select episodes. Vintage sponsor spots. Original broadcast versions of select episodes. Select colorized episodes. Slideshow. I Love Lucy the movie, which I had never heard of. Apparently, from what I can tell, I Love Lucy the movie, which I haven't found yet. Look, I mean, you got to get through all this discs because the special features are spread out. It's not like there's one special features disc. So you kind of got to find which of these many discs is the special feature you're looking for on. But I'm curious to see I Love Lucy the movie. From what I can tell, it is several episodes that were strung together and shown in theaters. Christmas rebroadcast footage, Eye on CBS segments, and more. These things are loaded. There's a lot of special features on each disc. There's a lot of discs. This is one heck of a package. If you are a fan of I Love Lucy, this is a must-have. If you are a fan of classic television, this is a must-have. This is a major set. And I got to tell you, look, everybody knows I'm a DC Comics guy. I love DC Comics. And there was one show that I think just recently I was saying I would love to see come to Blu-ray, and that is the George Reeves Adventures of Superman. Well, guess what? This set is the closest we've come so far to getting George Reeves Superman on Blu-ray, because there is an episode of I Love Lucy called Lucy Meets Superman where George Reeves guest stars as Superman. I mean, they kind of indicate that he's a performer. He's in show business. That's what the episode indicates. But they never call him George Reeves. They never actually say he's an actor. They call him Superman in the episode, and he wears the Superman costume. He's presented as Superman. So this set is kind of the closest we've got to getting George Reeves Superman on Blu-ray. So let's get the whole George Reeves Superman series on Blu-ray next, please. Though that would come from Warner Brothers, not from Paramount. But yeah, there you go. I Love Lucy, one of the most influential TV shows of all time, in a massive, massive box set that you could pick up now. I want to thank our friends at Paramount for sending me this for review. I'm going to keep digging through this. This is one heck of a set, and I think any fan of classic television should check this out. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching this review. Until next time, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open it, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.